my name is Jessica and I went on the Student Placements 1-year work and travel visa. I'm about to start my Masters in Arts. My experience over in America has definitely helped me to have more knowledge in that area. I've always wanted to go to Los Angeles because I'm interested in film and television. So I went over to the US for 1 year and I got to do an internship in my industry over there. Student placement played a really important role because there's actually a lot of paperwork and can be really kind of confusing and frustrating, and they really set it out for you. These are the forms that you need to hand in, this is what you need to take with you. So it's much quicker, easier process. They sent me an email with all the forms attached. Student placement checked that all the forms were filled out correctly and I wasn't missing any information, and then I went off to the embassy and gave them everything all at once. And then 2 weeks later I got my visa in the mail and booked my flight and off I went. You can do it, I believe, without a sponsor, but it costs a lot more money and you need to have a job sort of lined up already. So it's a lot harder and a lot more expensive if you do it on your own. So that's where student placement comes in as well, because they're your official sponsor to go over there. They've also got a 24-hour helpline, so if you ever feel like you're really stuck and it's an emergency, you've got that. And they also set you up with insurance too, which is hard to find when you're sort of on your own. So yeah. I did actually have to use my insurance, and that's the only time that I sort of called. I was like, you know, how does this work? And they were really helpful. You're basically not by yourself. You've got, you know, a service that's there to help you, and I think you can't put a price on that, you know. Well, before I went, I did sort of look for jobs as you do, and I got, you know, an okay response, and they're like, yeah, it's great you've studied, but you don't have any experience within the industry. When I came back, I resent my resume to some of the places that I've been to, and they're like, oh my gosh, you've worked at some like really big company names and we'd like you to come on board and work for us. I actually found a few companies over there that I did work with that want to get me back. Student placement actually gave me a list of industry websites, so I went on to all of those websites that they gave me, sent my resume, and I got a really good response back. It was just easier because there were so many more like jobs available in the industry than there are here. You get to work, you get to travel, you get to experience the industry. You don't have to have graduated from university, so it's also good to do after you've done a year or two of study. You've got to try every role in front of the camera and behind the camera, which you don't get very often. So I have a lot more knowledge under my belt that'll really be able to push me to do better. I got to learn a lot from industry professionals, and now I've got that experience behind me. It looks great on my resume, and I think that's relevant to anybody who studies. Once you get out into the industry and actually do what you want to do, it's a lot different to what you've studied, and you actually find out if the passion that you thought you had is really there. So I definitely found where I wanted to be. I definitely recommend going to a student placements info evening, because there's not just one program, there's lots of programs and that you can find out about, and you get to learn a lot and you get to listen to other people's experiences. I knew straight away from listening to the talk and going on the website that I was able to do it and how to go about it immediately.